Hi, it's Baden here. On to developing acupressure flow for tonifying the digestion to help drain damp, but also tonifying the lungs in the aim of moving through grief and addressing poor sleep, waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., the lung time on the Chinese medical clock. Now, decided to break up this flow to a morning and evening routine. In the morning, working on the legs, starting at the grounding, the earth, and addressing the stomach, spleen, and kidney channels. Where stomach and spleen, they deal with digestion and processing of food to turn it into energy, and also releasing the accumulated dampness or the stuff that's not food that needs to be eliminated from the body, and we're addressing those functions. And the kidney's in charge of drainage, like fluid retention, and it also anchors the lungs. It's the base of the lung energy, so we're trying to, when you breathe deep, it's the kidneys that grasp the chi when you breathe in. And if we're addressing puffiness in the legs, it's good to massage those kidney points. Let's start. So there's a few ways to tackle this. The best is to lay your leg sideways like this so we can access it with the hands. And we're starting actually at kidney 2. We're going to be addressing the 2 channels that run up on the inside of the leg. If you feel the bone on the front of the leg, just back from that, about a finger breadth, is the spleen channel. And the most important point for us today is spleen 6, which is a hand breadth up from the medial malleosus of the ankle. You can almost drag your finger up next to the bone and find a depression around about that distance up. That's spleen 6. Excellent point to tonify for almost any condition. Now, the other point we're going to take note of here is kidney 7. Now, the kidney channel starts on the ankle, just back from the medial malleosus, in that depression next to the Achilles tendon. That's kidney 3. So we may as well start there today. But just up from there is kidney 7. It's around about 3 fingers up. Another depression. If you drag up along from behind the Achilles tendon, often find a tender spot there or a depression. Now, we're not focusing directly on these points. We're trying to keep it simple for just ease of use as a daily massage, self-massage for around about, I'd say, 3 minutes per leg, make it 6 minutes, just for ease of use, but your use may vary. Now, we're going to start down here at the kidney 3 point and just work our way up, pressing with the thumbs, noticing any sore bits, like, oh, that's a bit sore. Maybe gently rub, not be too pokey, just sort of like pressing an avocado, just feeling the texture. And also getting our mind, which is often stuck up here, down and focusing on our body, right down to the legs, grounding that mental energy. Because energetically in Chinese medicine, a lot of our, see what I'm doing here? Just grasping around, pressing the thumbs. A lot of our mental energy for thinking comes from the spleen and the stomach, because they're involved in digesting, assimilating, and transmuting ideas. And when we're thinking, when we're reading, we're like digesting material, we're consuming. Angela? This is why in stressful times we want to be looking after the spleen. All right, done that for a couple of minutes. Now we're moving on to the other side of the leg. This is the stomach channel, which runs from along the bone of the leg on the outside of the leg, about a finger breadth out. And just for simplicity, simply going to bring our fingers over, feel the edge of the bone of the, I'm not going to try and remember the Latin name for this bone, but the main leg bone on the front, on the shin, and just going to massage up the stomach channel. And the most important point on this stomach channel is stomach 36, which is roughly a hand's breadth down from the bottom of the patella. So find your patella here, button on your bone on the front of your knee. Just measure down from there, and next to the bone there is stomach 36. But we're going to do the whole stomach channel here, because stomach channel, particularly this middle point here, is involved in transmuting phlegm and damp and mucus in the body, which we're trying to help here today. Now notice I'm moving up from the ankle. Can also move down, like plenty of systems love massaging down, like away from the organs. But today we're trying to move damp and fluid, so we're actually pushing towards the heart to help the lymphatic system. Now, feel the tender. It's actually, we're not going to try to be too exact, it's simply a leg massage. A little bit further out from the stomach channel on the inside of the lateral portion, front portion of the leg is the gallbladder. That can also give that a bit of a massage. It's generally we want our legs to feel good after this. That's it. Activating all the channels, chi flowing, fluids flowing, and if there's a tense part you're missing out on, if it's a bit further out, by all means massage that. So that's 5 to 10 minutes. I'd recommend 10 minutes. Done in the morning, can be part of the a morning self-care routine with massage and yoga, whatever makes you fancy. And also the morning time is when we do most of our digestion and assimilation of food. For evening, work on the chest. And I spoke before about starting at the center of the chest, roughly between the clavicle notch and the sternal notch on the big bone on the front of your chest. Find the middle, and 17. And we're just pressing with 2 fingers into that point, gently, roundly massaging, activating. This opens the chest energetically for the seat of the heart and lungs, the Shen, seat of the emotions, and opening that can help with processing emotions. As we move down, I'm just going to briefly go through this because the previous video has shown us this Ren massage down the center channel down to pubic symphysis, Ren 4. But we're adding in this time kidney channel massage. And the kidney channel, its naming roughly reflects the path on life, like starting on kidney 1 underneath the foot is gushing spring, but also it's where you take your first step in life. And moving up the channel, we find that the names reflect our journey on our ultimate goal in life. During that journey, we find we reach obstacles and go through trauma and struggle. And reflecting on those names, we have points called Spirit Ruin and Ghost Corridor. You go through the Ghost Corridor, past the Spirit Ruin, and then Grain Palace, and finally up to Shen Palace, or the Heavenly Palace, which is your ultimate goal in life, whatever that may be. And we often find, when you find this point, find the clavicle bones up here, roughly 2 or 3 fingers out from the center line. That's the top of the kidney channel. And the points are in the intercostal spaces between the ribs. And we often find these intercostal kidney points to be a bit tender, and that can reflect something we're going through in our trials in life on these upper points. And massaging them mindfully, reflecting their purpose, can help your body with releasing what you're going through, with moving through what you're going through in life with more ease and grace. Because when the chi in the body is obstructed, we find like a lump, constriction it also affects your mind, your outlook, and your whole being. We're trying to bring everything into harmony. So we move down the kidney channel, find the points up here, remember, and it also extends over the belly, so either side of the midline. Similar to before, just avocado, pressing pressure, feeling into any tightness, maybe holding, waiting for that to release a bit, right down to pubic symphysis and out. And we'll go through the rest of the, once you've done that a few times, because whatever time you have this, I recommend 10 minutes. Ideally lying on your back in bed, because if you fall asleep doing this maneuver, that's kind of the what we're aiming for today, is a better sleep. It's and it's a time of day where you're just trying to fall asleep, so you have plenty of time. So the abdominal, just to review, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's down on the left side, then across and up on the right side. So we're moving about 2 fingers out each time. So back a bit further out, down on the left side, to the bottom, across and up on the right. And then also a gentle massage under the ribs, just opening up that diaphragm there so we can breathe a bit easier, release any tension in the breath, release that tension. And another 5 or 6 minutes on the abdomen. Now, to complete the treatment, we've had the balance treatment, we've done the legs, we've moved up to the chest, opened the chest, we've harmonized the belly, and now we want to do some arm points as well, because we've done the earth, the fire, earth again, and the kidney. Now we want to nourish the lung, and the lung channel springs out here at the chest, but the most powerful points tend to be further down, which is down the arm towards the thumb. Now if you find your thumb and slide your hand back, I'm wearing a watch on this side, but you come over your wrist here and over the bony point of the wrist, where the joint is, and slide back about an inch, about 2 fingers breadth, and you find like a flat spot in between 2 tendons. This is lung 7. Now, it's an optional point to massage, but lying back in bed, it can't hurt to massage this point, the source point of the lungs. It'll tonify the lungs, and the lungs are the seat of sadness and sorrow, and they also help with the entire chi metabolism of the body. As we breathe in heavenly chi, it's anchored by the kidneys, then transformed by the action of the heart pumping blood around the body into nutritive chi, combined with chi from the spleen, nutritive chi from the spleen, and they become, I believe it's called, not original chi, but it's the food and the air combined into the chi that runs in your blood and nourishes your entire body. And we're tonifying the lungs right there on this point. Remember to slide over the thumb, over the palm of the wrist, about an inch back, and it's a flat spot. So this is quite easy to do lying back in bed. Just massage, gentle massage, just 30 seconds each point, but with intention, knowing what you're doing, because the chi naturally flows out from the organ, out the arm, out and back in the next channel. I believe it's the pericardium, and this circulation of chi happens all throughout the night. Now, and finally, if you still are not asleep at this point, lying in bed, there's a point between the eyes, Ming 10, right here, between the eyebrows. Now I want you to gently tap on this, because it's called yin tang. It's an extra point, and activating this point encourages all the energy that's stuck up in your head, comes up through the back channels into the brain, and often it gets stuck in your frontal lobes, and naturally it moves down the Do channel through the throat into the heart. And the heart, the Shen, is where your Shen, your mind, rests when you go to bed. So in Chinese medicine. So we want to encourage your mind to descend from the head back to the heart. And this is the little gateway, little gate to open going to bed. And God willing, by that stage, you'll be well asleep. Let me know how you go. All the best.